Okay. So we are going to start with what Bachalo today? Anatomy of flowering plants. Okay. And you must be knowing already what is the meaning of the word anatomy, guys. Is it it is the study of external structure or internal structure?
Internal structure.
So already I have told you what is flowering plants. Now we're going to study the internal structure of flowering plants. So basically, I'm going to teach you about the tissues that are found inside angiosperms. Okay. So first thing first. In flowering plants, I'm talking about flowering plants. You know who are flowering plants. I will use a criteria, and that is the criteria of cell division. Okay. That if the tissue has the ability to undergo cell division, then that tissue is called as meristematic tissue. And if the tissue has temporarily or permanently lost the ability to divide, it is called as a permanent tissue. So the criteria, and see, I have not defined a tissue because you know what is a tissue. A tissue, depending upon the criteria of cell division, can be classified as meristematic. They are those cells which can undergo cell division. If the cell has lost the ability to divide, मतलब तो division नहीं करता है, and it has lost the ability to divide either temporarily or permanently, either of them. It has lost the ability to divide either temporarily or permanently. Then it is called as which tissue, bachalo?
Permanent tissues.
Okay. Now, before we start or delve into the chapter, there are 4 terminologies which you will be very clear with, because I am going to use it in anatomy, you are going to learn it in plant growth and development, and you are going to use in other chapters of botany. So 4 important terminologies before we begin everything are undifferentiated. What is the meaning of the word undifferentiated? Then differentiated, de-differentiated, and finally re-differentiated. So what are the 4 terminologies which are undifferentiated, differentiated, de-differentiated, and re-differentiated? Okay. Listen, Bachawat. Look at these cells. They are undergoing cell division. And all the cells are same. There is no division of labor. ये जो सेल है, सेल डिवीजन कर रहे हैं और आपस में कोई भी काम का बंटवारा नहीं है. Such a group of cells is said to be undifferentiated. Okay. So what are the 2 things I just mentioned? They are able to undergo cell division and they do not show any division of labor. काम का बंटवारा नहीं है. मतलब what are they? Undifferentiated. Got my point? Priyanka, what are you? Student. Shravani, what are you? Student. Mugdha, what are you? Student. Nandini, what are you? Student. So is there a division of labor amongst you? काम का बंटवारा है आप लोग में? नहीं. अब क्या है? सबके सब सेम है. और क्या है वो? Student. Now I met you 15 years from today. Priyanka, what are you? Sir, I am a hematologist, oncologist. I am a pediatric cardiologist. I am an orthopedic. I am a neurologist. So now are you same or Are you showing division of labor?
Division of labor.
And you don't use bad words, huh? These are all doctors, different types. Hematologist, oncologist, cancer specialist. Huh? So after 15 years, are they same or are they showing division of labor?
Division of labor.
आलं लक्षात? What do you mean by division of labor? आता सध्या कसे आहेत सेल्स? सेम आहे. आपस में काम का बंटवारा नहीं है. वो लोग सिर्फ क्या कर रहे हैं? सेल डिवीजन कर रहे हैं. ऐसे ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स को क्या बोलते हैं? Undifferentiated. You understood what is undifferentiated, everybody? Should I proceed further? Now the cells are like, अरे क्या है जिंदगी? कब तक हम लोग ऐसे रहेंगे? We want to do specialized work. We want to take up responsibility. We want to take up some specific function. So let's do one thing. We will temporarily or permanently stop the process of cell division. And will take up specific work. Work is called as what? Labor. As a result of which, now the cells are no longer same. They have changed. Are you getting my point, everybody?
Yes.
The cells have changed. And we say that they have undergone the process of what would you know? Differentiation. Some cells have become parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, xylem, phloem, cambium. Matlab now they have taken up different functions. And they have done this first time in their life. So we'll say that this is पहला ग्रोथ है. क्या बोलेंगे? ये क्या बोलेंगे? इट्स अ पहला ग्रोथ है, मतलब
Primary growth.
and this process where the cells temporarily or permanently stop undergoing cell division and they take up specific work is called as what? Differentiation. And the growth that occurs is called as primary.
Primary growth.
Have you got my point, everybody? Yes or no? Pakka, you getting my point? Ayana. And such a meristem, such an undifferentiated cells is called as a primary meristem. What do you call it? Primary meristem. So I'll break it up once again. I'll do it once again. Sabke sub cells,
Same.
they keep on undergoing.
Cell division.
So they are called as,
Undifferentiated cells.
what my point? Or they are also known as,
Primary meristem.
they take up specific work and they stop the process of.
Cell division.
Now the process is called as,
Differentiation.
and the growth they bring about is called as a.
Primary growth.
Now are all the cells same or different now?
Different.
So the process is called as differentiation.
Differentiation.
Clear, everybody? Now kids, some of the cells regain the ability of cell division. मतलब ये सेल क्या था? डिफरेंशिएटेड था. आया ना? उसने कमिटमेंट दे दिया था कि अभी मैं ये काम करूंगा, लेकिन अभी फिर से वो क्या कर रहा है? सेल डिविजन. आया ना? तो उसने अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन रखा कि खो दिया?
खो दिया.
वेट फॉर 5 minutes. उसने अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन रखा कि खो दिया?
खो दिया.
मतलब is it differentiated or has it lost its differentiation?
Loss of differentiation.
Why? Because it has regained the ability of cell
Cell
division.
division.
आया ना? खो देना is called deoxyribose sugar, the one which has one oxygen atom less than the ribose sugar. What my point? So can I say now, as a differentiated cell has regained the ability of cell division, I will say that now it has become what Bachalo? De-differentiated. It has become what Bachalo? De-differentiated. Ayana, and has resulted in the formation of a group of cells which are all same and they are undergoing what? Cell division. So once again, how are the cells? Same. And what are they undergoing, bachalo?
Cell division.
So that process is called what? De-differentiation. I hope my class followed everybody. So here the cells were different, but now they have regained the ability to undergo cell division. But can I say they have gone back to becoming undifferentiated? But do we use the word undifferentiated or de-differentiated?
De-differentiated.
Because already वो लोग कुछ काम लेके बैठे थे. I hope you are not getting confused. Now these cells once again result in the formation of new tissues. They once again lose the ability to what, bachalo? Cell division. I hope you got my point. And they result in the formation of new tissues are formed. So now, can I say they have become what, bachalo? Re-differentiated. Once again they have got differentiated, right? But it is once again. So I am using the word what? Re-differentiated. And this growth will be called as which growth, bachalo? Secondary growth. Ayana? And such a dividing cell, this one, such a dividing cell, will you call it as a primary meristem? No. You will call which meristem? Secondary meristem. Ayana? So listen to this statement. A secondary meristem arises by de-differentiation of the primary permanent tissues and it undergoes re-differentiation to form secondary growth. Very important line. Can you repeat this, bachalo? What did I say? A secondary meristem arises by de-differentiation of primary permanent tissues. So who are the primary permanent tissues? The ones who have come from primary growth. So these are all what, bachalo? They are primary permanent tissues. PPT. So secondary meristem की पैदाइश कहाँ से हुई? By the de-differentiation of primary permanent tissues. And they, who is they? Secondary meristem. They undergo. What do they undergo, bachalo? They undergo re-differentiation and they form what, bachalo? Secondary tissues. Ayana? And form which growth, bachalo? They form secondary growth. तो उनकी पैदाइश किससे हुई बच्चों? उनकी पैदाइश हुई डी-डिफरेंशिएशन और उन्हें किसको प्रोड्यूस किया? री-डिफरेंशिएशन से नया ग्रोथ प्रोड्यूस किया. I hope you got my point. Now try to understand what I am trying to say. 20 years ago, okay, I started my teaching career. So I went to a coaching class and for an interview. So he asked me, so which subject do you teach? I told him I teach all 4 subjects, PCMB. So what was I? What was I? ये चारों में से बताओ. Undifferentiated. Was there any division of labor?
No.
So you'll call me what?
Undifferentiated.
आया लक्षात? Now the sir said, no, ऐसा नहीं चलता सर. आपको कोई भी एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? तो मैंने अच्छा ऐसा? तो I'll teach chemistry. तो मैंने क्या ले लिया? एक लेबर ले लिया. मतलब मैं क्या बन गया? लेकिन मेरा पहला जॉब है. तो आप बोलोगे मेरा क्या है? प्राइमरी ग्रोथ. तो बहुत साल मैंने क्या पढ़ा है? केमिस्ट्री पढ़ा है. बराबर है ना? हाँ. फिर एक बार समझो मुझे सुरेश सर मिल गए और सुरेश सर जो है एक बड़े कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट के ओनर थे. ठीक है? और ऐसे ट्रेन में बाजू में बैठे थे और मुझे पता चल गया, बोला अरे अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है सर के इंस्टीट्यूट में जाने का। तो सर ने मुझे पूछा सर आप क्या पढ़ाते हो, तो मैं बोला सर मैं सब पढ़ाता हूँ, आई टीच PCMB। नाउ अब तक I had become a tissue specialized for,
Chemistry.
but sensing an opportunity, I have become
Differentiated.
once again going back to PCMB. हाँ या ना, समझ लो। So I underwent the process of,
Differentiation.
but then Suresh sir said, नहीं ऐसा नहीं चलता सर, आपको ना कोई भी एक सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाना पड़ेगा, हमारे यहाँ पे फिजिक्स की वैकेंसी, आप फिजिक्स पढ़ाओगे? बोला हाँ सर फिजिक्स तो मैं पढ़ाता हूँ, पढ़ाऊंगा मैं फिजिक्स। तो I became,
Differentiated.
but this was my first job or second job?
Second job.
So will you call it primary growth or secondary growth?
Secondary growth.
Did you understand my point? हाँ या ना? जब मैं पहले था, what was I? Undiff. Then I got my first job. I became
Differentiated.
a tissue specialized for
Chemistry.
chemistry. So for many years I was doing the function of,
Chemistry.
but suddenly I started teaching all the 4 subjects. So I became,
Differentiated.
and once again I started teaching physics. So I became, so my teaching physics is an example of dash growth,
Secondary growth.
and my teaching chemistry is an example of which growth?
Primary growth.
आलं लक्षात? नक्की? All of you followed this? Yes or no? So undiff, diff, d-diff and rediff. And I think we copy this down first. Let us classify the tissues. So you have classified the tissues into how many broad categories, Bachalo? 2. What are they? Meristematic and
Covalent.
okay. And meristematic is classified depending upon its origin, depending upon its location, and depending upon its
Function.
and three subtypes each. Okay. Similarly, the permanent tissues can be classified as simple permanent and complex permanent. Simple permanent have 3 main types, which are called parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and the collenchyma. And complex has a water conducting tissue called xylem and a food conducting tissue called phloem. Okay. As I proceed and start teaching, I'll tell you what are the criteria that have been used. Why one is called simple, why other is called complex. But this is to make you learn. Okay. And when we learn, parenchyma के भी types आएंगे, sclerenchyma के भी types आएंगे. Okay. So this is a chart. Fundamentally ऐसा होगा. So let us talk about depending upon its origin. But before that, we need to learn the characteristic features of which tissues, bachalo? Meristematic tissues. Okay. So what are we beginning with? The characteristic feature of meristematic tissues. 2 characteristic features you already know. 2 properties आप सबको पहले से ही पता है. एक undergo cell division, दूसरा undifferentiated. Yes. So पहला property आप सबको पता है, they keep on undergoing what? Cell division. दूसरा property है कि sir, they are all what? Undifferentiated. Okay. The cells are small in size and they are isodiametric. The cells are small in size, and how are the cells? They are isodiametric. Okay. But the cells have almost the same diameter, so that is why they are called what? Isodiametric. The cells are thin-walled cells. Okay. They show the presence of only the primary wall. Secondary wall is absent. What are the 3 layers of the cell wall, guys? Can you tell me the 3 layers of the cell wall? Rajwardhan?
Primary, secondary, tertiary.
Primary, secondary, tertiary. There is no tertiary. I'm saying primary and secondary. Why are you forgetting middle lamella? So middle lamella is in the middle, right? Where is the middle lamella? It is outermost layer. It is called middle lamella because it is present in between the two cells. So outer one is middle lamella, followed by primary, followed by secondary, and then the innermost one is tertiary, may or may not be present. So these are thin-walled cells. How the cells? Which look? The cells are thin-walled, and they show the presence of only the primary wall. Secondary wall is absent. Any logic which look why they show the presence of only primary wall, secondary wall is absent? For cell division. Other than that, if they have only the primary wall, they are still ready to undergo elongation. So if water enters inside the cell, the water will exert pressure on all the sides of the walls. That is called turgor pressure. So because of the turgor pressure, will the cell remain of the same size or will it start increasing its size? So meristematic cells are still committed. Okay, we can still increase our size and take up specific functions. Okay, so with the formation of the secondary wall, the elongation of the cell will stop. So they don't show the presence of what? Secondary wall. They show only the presence of what? Primary wall. तो इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि अभी भी वो लोग अपना elongation के लिए, expansion के लिए ready है. I hope you got the point. They show the presence of गाढ़ा, dense cytoplasm along with a prominent nucleus. Prominent मतलब बच्चों कि माइक्रोस्कोप में आपको न्यूक्लियस को ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुरंत आपको दिख जाएगा. ओके, एंड द वैक्यूल्स आर एब्सेंट और इफ प्रेजेंट they are very what? Small. The reason is there is no stored food in meristems. Got my point? So they don't show the presence of vacuoles, and vacuoles, if present, the vacuoles are going to be very small. So why they don't store food? Because they are not doing any specific function, and the rate of metabolism is high. Matlab, the rate of respiration is high. Meristems show the presence of a high rate of respiration. As a result of which, they are not storing food; they are using everything. Are you getting my point, everybody? Then you'll also remember that they show absence of plastids. They show the presence of proplastids. You remember plastids, bachalo? Chloroplast is a green colored plastid. So they show the presence of virtual what? Plastids. I'm sorry, they show the presence of proplastids. Proplastids are precursor to the plastids. You know precursor? Atta is a precursor to roti. तो यही प्रोप्लास्टिड किस में चेंज होने वाला है? प्लास्टिड. मतलब क्लोरोप्लास्ट नहीं है, क्लोरोप्लास्ट की क्या है? प्रीकर्सर. I was on there. Then they show the presence of interconnections. You remember plasmodesmata? Mayana. So how are they? They are interconnected. Like in epithelial tissue, I showed gap junctions. Okay. Here we have what? Plasmodesmata. You know that plasmodesmata. And there is no intercellular space. So there is absence of what? Intercellular space. So can I say it's a compact tissue? What is the word I am using, Machilo?
Compact tissue.
I said that it's a compact tissue. All lakshat sarvanna. So how is meristem, Machilo? It's a compact tissue. So what are the properties of meristem? Tuck, 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 tuck. सारे properties समझ में आए? हाँ या ना? Cell division पता है, undifferentiated पता है, small and isodiametric. मतलब size कशी आहे? छोटी आहे. आणि isodiametric. Diameter almost कसं आहे? Same आहे. कारण सेल्स मोठे साईज मध्ये कधी होणार? जेव्हा ते कमिटेड होणार. की आम्हाला किती मोठं व्हायचं आहे, बरोबर आहे, आम्हाला जायलेम व्हायचंय, फ्लोएम व्हायचंय, काय व्हायचंय, त्याच्या हिशोबाने ते साईज वाढवणार. थिन वॉल्ड इज एन इंडिकेशन that we'll still ready for expansion. Yes. So secondary wall is absent because formation of a secondary wall, you lose your ability of expansion. How is the cytoplasm? Dense. Nucleus ठळक. Vacuoles are absent. कारण stored food नाही आहे. कारण rate of respiration high आहे. आणि क्लोरोप्लास्ट फॉर्म नाही झाले, पण क्लोरोप्लास्टचे प्रीकर्सर्स आहे आणि प्लास्मोडेस्माटिक कनेक्शन्स आहेत आणि इंटरसेल्युलर स्पेस नाही आहे. दॅट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द कॉम्पॅक्ट. आलं लक्षात? अच्छा, ये चार्ट अपन रिकॉर्डिंग से देख लेंगे बच्चों लोग, है ना? फ्रॉम द रिकॉर्डिंग यू राइट डाउन द चार्ट एवरीबॉडी. ओके, पक्का ना? टुमारो यू शो मी ना. गाडीचा अभ्यास करत नाही, फोटो आणि टोटो पाहिजे त्याला. नोटबुक उघडी करा तुम्ही मला. देखा ला आहे, देख कोणती उघडी मला नोटबुक उघडी. हां बघू तिथे दे नोटबुक. हे लिहिला ना उद्या ते हे बघून. हां खूप वेळ लावताय तुम्ही लिहायला, कंटाळा येतो मला. You need to complete it. Morphology किया था ना complete तो बोल सकते हैं क्या? पहले चार्ट दिखा रहा है. अच्छा एक और बात, ये चार्ट आपको सबको कितना टाइम? आज बता 3 times. ओके. चार्ट 2 बार लिखना है आप लोग. 2 times. And then when you come in the class, it will be without saying. Third time will be without saying. अलग सा सरोना. Okay. So what are the 3 types of meristems? The first type I said that depending on
Origin.
what bachalo? Origin. You remember origin? What do you mean origin? How do they develop? I had mentioned 3 types. What are the first type bachalo?
Promeristem.
The first type was called as promeristem. Promeristem is also known as primordial. What is the meaning of the word primordial? What is the meaning of the word primordial? What do you mean by primordial? Primordial मतलब earliest या फिर oldest, बहुत पुराना, like dad jokes. Okay? Primordial. How is it? Primordial. Alaksha. So primordial meristem is considered to be which meristem बच्चों? The earliest meristem, मतलब the oldest meristem. So where will you find it, sir? So if I go into a seed, inside the seed, I will see the presence of an embryo, and the embryo will show the presence of radicle and plumule. These cells can undergo what? Cell division. So these embryonic tissues which can undergo the process of cell division, they come under the examples of promeristem or primordial meristem. Bolo. Promeristem.
Promeristem.
Primordial meristem.
Primordial meristem.
सबसे पुराना.
सबसे पुराना.
Oldest.
Oldest.
तो कहाँ मिलेगा आपको? प्लांट में मिलेगा कि उसकी सीड में मिलेगा बच्चों?
सीड में.
समझा मेरा बात? सीड में भी कहाँ पे? सीड में बेबी प्लांट है जिसको हम लोग क्या नाम देते हैं? एम्ब्रियो. और इस एम्ब्रियो के पास कौन से टिश्यूज है बच्चों लोग? एम्ब्रियोनिक टिश्यूज है. जैसे कि कौन है? रेडिकल है और प्लूम्यूल है. और ये क्या अंडरगो कर सकते हैं? सेल डिवीजन. सो दे विल कम अंडर व्हाट बच्चों लोग? प्रोमेरिस्टेम और प्राइमोर्डियल मेरिस्टेम. एनी प्रॉब्लम इन लाइफ गाइस बच्चों लोग? पक्का समझ में आया सबको कि नहीं? नाउ सेकंड टाइप. व्हाट इज सेकंड टाइप आई हैव रिटन?
Primary meristem.
व्हाट इज इट?
Primary meristem.
प्राइमरी मेरिस्टेम. अरे व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी मेरिस्टेम? आज ही बता तुम लोगों को. प्राइमरी मेरिस्टेम is undifferentiated cells which undergoes differentiation and it forms the primary permanent tissues. मतलब it forms the primary plant body. First plant body, primary plant body. So it is responsible for which growth, bachalo?
Primary
It is
growth.
responsible for which growth? Primary.
growth.
Alakshat. Once upon a time, all the cells were same. They were what? Undifferentiated. They underwent the process of differentiation, and they result in the formation of what, bachalo? Primary permanent tissues. So that is called the primary plant body, and that growth is called as primary growth. So primary meristems are responsible for which growth?
Primary growth.
So give us a few examples of primary meristems. Oh, do you see this, bachalo? Who is this? Plant. Who is this? Shoot. Who is this? Root. Who is this? Soil. So do you see this meristem at the top, bachalo?
Yes.
It is called shoot apical meristem. Now let's go.
Shoot apical meristem.
And do you see this? Root apical meristem. So Ram and Shyam. Who, bachalo? Ram and Shyam are example of who?
Primary meristem.
Primary meristem. They are responsible for primary growth and increase in height. Increase in height. I know some of you have not experienced it, but I can't help it. Okay? Some of you are looking angry at me. Why you give this example? But it's not my fault here. Look, I need to give that example. Huh? Okay? If you're not experienced, not my fault. Okay? So look at this. Shyam, who is it? Shoot apical meristem. It is showing increase in its height of the stem. And this is showing increase in the height or length. What is the right English word? Length. Length in the root. समझ में आया ना? समझ में आया? नक्की? हाँ? So primary meristems के example दो मुझे. Shyam and what are they responsible for? Primary growth. Give me example of primary growth. Increase in length of the shoot. Height of the shoot and the length of the root are examples of which growth, guys? Primary. Let's बढ़े आगे. Third. Who is it, bachalo?
Secondary meristem.
Who is it? Secondary meristem. Who are secondary meristem? Repeat that line. Can anybody repeat that line? Just the way I had mentioned. Who can repeat the line? हाँ बोल.
Secondary meristem arises by redifferentiation of primary plant tissue.
बरोबर हाँ. And they
primary
undergo.
plant tissues, and they undergo redifferentiation to form secondary growth.
Wow. Anybody else from the girls? Anybody else from the girls? Can you try? Yes, yeah, Priyanka.
Secondary meristem undergoes dedifferentiation to form primary permanent plant body, and it goes redifferentiation to form the secondary plant body.
No. One second. Yeah.
Secondary meristem undergoes
They are arises
from dedifferentiation
of permanent tissues and they undergo redifferentiation to form
secondary growth.
growth. Ayana, sir, give us an example of secondary growth. This you all have experienced, especially me. This is a stem. Now, do you see it is showing an increase in girth? It is showing an increase in girth. Okay, just like the belt. तो एक साल जैसे से बढ़ते जा रहा है बच्चों लोग कोई गोल बढ़ते जा रहा है इस साइड towards the left. Okay, so now just stand. It is showing increase in girth. Girth समझ लो? It is showing an increase in girth, and this increase in girth is called which type of growth?
Secondary growth.
It is called as secondary growth. Other Akshat sir, what now? Is keeping everybody? वहाँ बोल देखो तो क्लास में हाँ तो बराबर हैं Ayana. So what are the examples of secondary meristems? Are you there with me, everybody? You understood what is the secondary meristem?
Yes.
Secondary meristem is responsible for dash growth. Secondary growth. What is secondary growth? Increase in height or increase in girth? Increase in girth. Okay. Examples of secondary meristems are interfascicular cambium, cork cambium, wound cambium. Remember at least this first. Okay? So I'll make you understand that. See here. Are you there with me, everybody? Who is this?
Cells.
No. Stem. What is this?
Stem.
Stem. TS of? क्या लिया मैंने?
Stem.
Okay. Now look. Oh. Do you see this pizza ka piece? Or samosa? What do you call them? To tell me. What is it? Pizza ka pieces. These are called vascular tissues, vascular bundles. Now let's go.
Vascular bundles.
They conduct food and water, so they are vascular. Just like blood is vascular, it conducts water and food. So vascularization. The word vascular means खाना पीना देने वाला टिश्यू. तुम्हारे सेल्स को खाना पीना कौन देता है? ब्लड. प्लांट के बॉडी को खाना पीना कौन देता है? Xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem are examples of which tissues? Vascular tissues. अरे पकड़ रहा है. Xylem and phloem. So this is called as a vascular bundle. A bundle in biology is called fasciculi, muscle fasciculus. Okay. Oh. Do you see a black line inside? This tissue is called cambium. What do you call it?
Cambium.
Is it inside the bundle or outside the bundle?
Inside.
Is it between the xylem and phloem?
Yes.
It is called intrafascicular cambium. What do you call it, बच्चा पार्टी?
Intrafascicular cambium.
हाँ या ना? अरे, do you see this circle? This is called pith. Some tissue. I'll be teaching that later. What do you call it? Pith. Okay. And do you see these blue dots? Give me yes or a no.
Yes.
This is called primary medullary ray. What do you call it? Primary medullary ray. These are permanent tissues. What are they?
Permanent tissues.
Who? Primary medullary ray cells. Can I say they are between the vascular bundles? These primary medullary ray cells undergo dedifferentiation. What do they undergo?
Dedifferentiation.
Matlab they are permanent tissues which have regained the ability to undergo.
Cell division.
And do you see they have resulted in the formation of a new layer of cells, which I am representing by a blue line. Ayana, this is called as interfascicular cambium. Now let's go. Interfascicular cambium. So interfascicular cambium is an example of which meristem? Secondary meristem. Because it has come from the dedifferentiation of primary medullary rays. But intrafascicular cambium is a primary meristem. Is a primary meristem. So primary meristem के कितने examples दिए अभी तक मैंने? 3. कौन से? राम, श्याम, इंट्राफाका. और secondary की क्या दिया मैंने? Interfascicular cambium. And the other is cork cambium. Cork cambium helps in the formation of bark. Bark को अपन हिंदी में बोलते हैं छाल, मराठी में बोलते हैं साल. If you see a mango का tree who is old, उसकी जो टहनी होती है ग्रीन होती है कि ब्राउनिश ब्लैक होता है, और बाहर की तरफ स्मूथ होता है कि खड़बड़ित होता है, और वो गिरते रहता है हर साल नीचे ऐसा, बराबर कि नहीं? उसको फॉर्म करने की हेल्प करता है कौन? So these are examples of which meristem बच्चे लोग?
Secondary meristem.
So depending upon the origin, how many types did we make? 3 types. What are 3 types? Primary meristem, Promeristem and secondary.
meristem.
Any problem in your life, Bachalo? Are you following what I'm saying? Ayana. So we met today on the occasion of Friday, and I told you we are starting with what? Anatomy. The first thing I told you that the cell can be tissues can be differentiated on the basis of ability to undergo cell division. If you can undergo cell division, you are meristematic. If you can't, you are called permanent. You may lose it temporarily or you may lose it permanently. What? Ability to undergo cell division. There are up to 4 properties: undiff, diff, diviv, rediff. All the cells are same, no division of labor, undifferentiated. They take up labor for the first time. Cell division खो दिया, differentiated. फिर से सेल डिवीजन चालू किया, फिर से नया ग्रोथ लेके आए। पहला वाला ग्रोथ था प्राइमरी, अभी का ग्रोथ है सेकेंडरी। तो उसके हिसाब से मैंने बोला ये प्राइमरी मेरिस्टेम और ये कौन है? सेकेंडरी मेरिस्टेम। याद है थोड़ा थोड़ा आया दिमाग में? Then I told you properties of meristematic tissues. All these 11 properties. आया ना? Then I told you कि जो मेरिस्टेम बचपन में था, किसके बचपन में? प्लांट के, सीड के अंदर, एम्ब्रियो के अंदर, जिसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं फिर? प्रोमेरिस्टेम या फिर एक यंग प्लांट बॉडी बनी, है ना? It shows the presence of Ram and Sham are shoot apical meristem and root apical meristem. They are examples of which meristem? Primary meristem. Because they will undergo what? Differentiation to produce primary growth. That is the primary permanent tissues, primary plant body, first plant body. Understand? Then, because of this, the height will increase, and the length of the root will also increase. बराबर है? Then we spoke about which meristem, guys? Secondary meristem. This line you remember? Secondary meristem arises from the de-differentiation of a permanent tissue like primary medullary rays, and they undergo what? Re-differentiation to form
secondary permanent.
That is secondary tissues. है ना? Give me example of secondary growth. Height में बढ़ना कि girth में बढ़ना? सही है बच्चों लोग? पक्का? Have you conceptually understood these 3 things? Shall I proceed further and I talk about what meristem based upon their location. इसकी बात करेंगे meristem based upon their location. लिख लेंगे ना तुम लोग बाद में? क्या लिख के? Video. Good boy. Now. So what are the next classification, guys? We are going to classify them. What?
Depending upon location.
Okay. This. Depending upon their location. Let us see. What are the types? Depending upon the location. Okay. So one is apical meristem. क्या बोला मैंने? Apical meristem. Did you forgot my one second? इसको बंद करना शावनी को. So what are the depending upon the location? What is the first type, guys? Apical meristem. Let's understand. Okay. Are you there with me, everybody?
Yes.
Who is this? Shoot. Who is this?
Root.
Do you see the black marks?
Yes.
Who are they? They are the apex of the plant body. This is called as the shoot apex. This is called as the root apex. So now this will be called as the Sham, shoot apical meristem. Ram, root apical meristem. So Ram and Sham are examples of apical meristem. Depending upon their location and depending upon their origin, they are called
Primary meristem.
Okay. So depending upon your gender, you are male, and depending upon your nationality, you are Indian. Okay. So Ram Sham, you are apical based upon your
Location.
and you are Primary, based upon your
Origin.
अलग अलग star. नक्की. Should I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
The second is which type बच्चों? Intercalary. क्या बोलो इसको? Intercalary. Look at this is beautiful. अरे ये कौन है? प्लांट है. ये कौन है? क्यों सब एनर्जी आ रहा है चलो इसको डेड है. हाँ? शाम. Who is this?
Ram.
आज कौन सा दिन है? फ्राइडे. So ये फ्राइडे का शाम. कभी का शाम है? फ्राइडे का शाम. अब देखो ये शाम चुप नहीं बैठेगा, ये ग्रोथ करवाएगा ना. So as a result of which, अरे see the length of the shoot has
Increased.
and ये देखो ये कौन है? शाम है. कभी का सैटरडे का शाम है. कभी का शाम है
Saturday.
सैटरडे की शाम ने क्या किया? उसने ग्रोथ किया. मतलब उसने कौन सा टिश्यू फॉर्म किया? प्राइमरी परमानेंट टिश्यूज फॉर्म किए उसने. आया ना. लेकिन डू यू सी दिस रेड मार्किंग बच्चों? सर हु इज दिस? दिस इज शाम that got left over. This is sham that got left over. समझ लो. राहिलेला शाम. कोण आहे? राहिलेला शाम which got sandwiched between two permanent tissues. Did you get my point? हाँ या ना? ये कौन है? शाम है. कभी का शाम है? फ्राइडे का शाम है. हाँ या ना? अब उसने क्या किया बच्चों? ग्रोथ करवाया. कौन सा वाला? प्राइमरी. हाँ या ना? अब देखो कहाँ चला गया वो? ऊपर चला गया ना. तो ये कौन सी शाम आ जाएगी? लेकिन ये जो रह गया थोड़ा सा उसका ही भाई वो अटकून राहिला ना. कोणाच्या मध्ये? वरती परमनंट खालती परमनंट आणि मी अटकलो की नाही? हो की नाही? That will be called as which meristem? Intercalary. Intercalary. काय म्हणायचं? Intercalary meristem. The one which is sandwiched between the two permanent tissues. पुढे जाऊया ना. अरे ये कौन है? शाम है. कभी का शाम है बच्चों? संडे का शाम है ना. और ये कौन है बच्चों? ये सैटरडे का शाम है जो अभी इंटरकैलरी बन चुका है. हाँ या ना? सर फिर वो फ्राइडे की शाम का है जो इंटरकैलरी बन गई थी. It resulted in the formation of leaves, branches, etc. Got my point? So we say that it is represented by the axillary bud. Okay? So axillary buds are example of which meristem bachlo? Intercalary meristem, which will form side leaves, branches, side growth. I hope you got my point. So it will result in the formation of what bachlo? The side branches and everything. Side growth. So intercalary meristem is a temporary meristem or a permanent meristem?
Temporary.
Because it will get over. Lक्षात? है ना? So will you able to see the Friday का शाम?
No.
लक्षात? नक्की.
Yes, sir.
2 बार इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि गैया घास खाई. कौन? गैया घास खाई. फिर भी ग्रास रीग्रो हुई. समझा? इंग्लिश में पूछा था. इंजरी टू द grasses by herbivores. Injury to the grasses by
Herbivores.
Does it kill the grass?
No.
Or the grass is able to regrow?
Regrow.
You know why, Bachcho? Because this is the grass Okay, this is the apical meristem. This is the intercalary meristem, and these are the leaves. So Gaia comes, eats the grass, and what does it leave behind at the level of the soil? Intercalary meristem. So once again, it will result in the formation of a new grass. Okay, Ayana. So can I say intercalary meristem allows the regrowth of what bacha? Grasses after an injury by the whom bachalo? Herbivores. Pakka. So intercalary meristems is example of a primary meristem depending upon its origin and depending upon its location, it will be called as intercalary. Why is it called intercalary? Why you use the word inter? Because it is sandwich. Use my word. It is
Sandwich.
between two अटकून गेला. कोणाच्या मध्ये? बरोबर. त्याचा बाकीचा भाऊ कुठे गेला? वरती. So it became the new Sham and it became the रह गया हुआ Sham. That is called intercalary. नहीं समझा मेरे बात? अब क्या कैच कर रहा है उसको? हमको कैच कर रहा है? कॅच करतो मी काय सांगतो तुला ते असं विचारतो. हा ठीक आहे. थकलात का एक 5 मिनिट्स ना? ओकर तू कसा थकला तू आता आलाय. Should I erase this बच्चों? अब करेगा ना, कंप्लीट करेगा ना बच्चों लोग. कल नोट्स का चेकिंग करूंगा मैं एनाटॉमी का. I don't want that rough notebook and puff notebook all that. Okay. So what's the third type, kids? What's the third type, बच्चा पाटी? हाँ? बोलो. What is it? Lateral meristem. Hey, Anushka. So what's the lateral meristem? Tanvi. Who is this? Tanvi Thorat? अरे तू फॉरगेट यार. ना नाम याद रखेगा ये सब वक्त तो कंफ्यूज है. हाँ बोलता है वो. आंसर ये कौन है? श्याम है. ये तो स्टेम है ना. श्याम तो ये थी. ये श्याम. Now look at this meristem. Oh, look at this meristem. Look at the beauty, bachcho. Can I say it is parallel to the plant axis and it is present laterally? Laterally समझते कि नहीं? So that is why it is called which meristem बच्चों लोग? Lateral meristem. Example is interfascicular cambium, intrafascicular cambium, cork cambium. These are all examples of which meristems? Lateral meristem. So interfascicular cambium, depending upon the origin, is secondary, but depending upon location is intrafaca is primary, but depending upon the location it is cork. Depending upon the origin is
secondary,
but depending upon the location it is what? Is my class following what I am saying? Yes or no, chalo? Then kids, the fourth type, the third type, that is depending upon its
function.
what was your function? You have at the apex, it's a type of apical meristem only, but depending upon its function, let me classify it. Do you see 3 layers? Outermost layer is which color I have shown? Blue. It is called what? Dermatogen. या फिर उसका दूसरा नाम मैंने क्या दिया था? Protoderm. भूल गए इतना जल्दी. And this results in the formation of epidermal tissue system. In other words, we'll say it will form the skin of the plant. Just like you got a skin, plant also has a skin. That skin is called which tissue system? Epidermis. That is why derma, skin. So the outermost layer is called dermatogen. Okay, nahi? Look at the middle one. Which color I am showing you? Black. It is called ground meristem, or it is also known as the क्या दूसरा नाम दिया था मैंने? Peribelum, and this will form the ground tissues. Ground tissues, मतलब those tissues like parenchyma, sclerenchyma, ऐसा. Huh? I'll teach you later on. So right now remember ground tissues. Because the third type of tissue system will develop from this innermost layer, which is called as plerome, or it is called as procambium. And this procambium will result in the formation of vascular tissues, that is xylem and phloem and the cambium. So जो प्लांट का स्किन प्रोड्यूस करता है उसको बोलते हैं डर्मेटोजेन, जो प्लांट का ब्लड प्रोड्यूस करता है उसको बोलते हैं प्रोकैम्बियम, और बाकी के सारे टिश्यू जो प्रोड्यूस करता है उसको बोलते हैं ग्राउंड मेरिस्टेम या उसको बोलते हैं पेरिबेलम. I hope you getting my point, Michelo? Are you getting my point, everybody? So that is what you mean by dermatogen. Then you got a ground meristem, and you got a plerome, which is also called as the procambium. So if you see, I can make a comprehensive list of all the meristematic tissues, like this. Sham, then Ram, intercalary meristem. Then you have intrafascicular cambium. Then you have interfascicular cambium. Then you have got cork cambium. आज जो भी मैंने cover किया. Then you have you have got dermatogen. Then what do you have? You have got procambium. And what do you have? Ground meristem. Am I missing anything?
Apical meristem.
You cannot shoot apical meristem.
Intercalary.
Intercalary. Now tell me what are the types depending upon their origin and depending upon their location. Sham, depending upon its origin. Prime. Depending upon its location.
Apical.
Ram, primary. Apical. Intercalary.
Second.
Intercalary. Interfascicular. Intercalary. रह गया होगा शाम. It's a primary only. ना? शाम का रह गया हुआ part है. With respect to the location, it is intercalary. So नाम intercalary. Intrafaca. Origin के हिसाब से intrafaca. Inter नहीं, intra अंदर वाला. Black line. Primary. Depending upon the location. Lateral. Interfaca. Secondary. Depending upon the location. Cork cambium. Secondary. Location. Lateral. All these three together, depending upon their origin, they are called as primary. And depending upon the location, they are called apical. लक्षा तो वो चार्ट है, उसके साथ ये भी आपको अकॉर्डिंग टू राजवर्धन 2 times. ठीक है, these 2 things should be by heart before